What are you saying, everybody? It's your boy, Nav Sharma, coming to you live from his basement, letting you know that he is starting a podcast. That's right. I'm going to be talking about my dating life. I'm going to be talking about sports. I'm going to be talking about TV shows, movies, animes. Whatever it is, I feel like talking about that week now. If you like what I'm saying and you like my take, be sure to subscribe, be sure to follow, be sure to like, be sure to comment. If you have a topic idea or something that you want to hear me rant about, be sure to leave it in the comments section below. With all of that being said, let's get right into the first episode, okay? There is a lot I want to talk about, and I am still going to try and stick to this 15-minute format. So, either 15 minutes or below. So, I have a lot to talk about, and I need to get into it right away. So, what am I going to talk about? The education system. What are you saying, everybody? So, I want to get into this first episode right away. I got a lot that's on my mind. I got a lot that I want to talk about, okay? It's going to be about the education system. It's going to be about our Ontario education system. Now, I know what you guys are thinking. Here we go. Trucker convoy in Ottawa, and people are fighting mandates, and people are going up against the vaccine, and here you are talking about our education system? Yes, because that's where our fucking problem stems from. It is our education system, but it has nothing to do with our COVID mandates or anything like that. What I want to talk about is how fucking big of a waste of time some of the shit they taught us in our curriculum was. Look, 15 years ago, not even, way longer than that. 20 years ago when I was in school, they didn't teach us shit to prepare us for the future, right? Like, as a system that's supposed to educate our youth to be prepared for a future, they did not anticipate our future well enough, okay? There are jobs now that are like content creator, YouTube specialist, social media marketing, right? People make millions off of sponsored ads on Instagram. People make a living. People pay their rent off of this stuff. I swear to God, some girl has 1 million followers on YouTube, and all she does is eat food in front of the screen in this extremely high definition microphone. Apparently, it helps with anxiety. But you know what gave me anxiety? Our fucking education system. Look, why did I need to learn about Pascal's triangle and Hermes math to assume how many fucking jelly beans were in a jar? You think I care? When was the last time any of you have even used, if you're not in math, if your career has nothing to do with mathematics, when was the last time you used a graphing calculator? For me, it was in high school. But every time I asked my teacher, why do I have to use a graphing calculator? I'm never going to need this in my future. You know what his fucking response was? Math is everywhere. Look, your computer screen is a square. Look, the trees resemble a triangle. How did they make the pyramids of Egypt without great math? And all I wanted to say was, shut the fuck up. No one gives a fuck about this math shit. Why are you putting letters in the middle of my math equations? Isn't that what English is for? I'm already struggling hard enough as it is. I can't even buy a vowel, but now all of a sudden you want to put letters in the middle of my math just to complicate shit even more? Mathematics taught us it's okay to use acronyms like BEDMAS. But do you want to know where I learned BEDMAS, the acronym, from? In my English class, because that's where we learned about acronyms. You know when the last time I heard the word BEDMAS was? When someone was using it to describe me sleep. And don't even get me started on French class. French class was the biggest waste of time ever. I remember we spent an entire week just to learn how to make crepes. What the fuck am I learning how to make crepes for? French class, I took French from grade 4 all the way up to grade 9 once a year. And you want to know the extent of my French? Bonjour, je m'appelle, fatigué, oui, oui, no, no. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 2. I think. I don't even know if that was correct. If that was correct, respect to my French, I'm ready to move to Paris. My French teacher was from the south of India. So when she spoke and when she was teaching us in French, she couldn't even speak English. I didn't understand. She couldn't speak English, but she was teaching us French to an English-speaking class. And it's really fucked me up because now when I speak French, or if I try to speak French, I say it with an Indian accent. Bonjour, je m'appelle, ça va bien, right? It's all done with an Indian accent. Get better teachers, or at least fire that one teacher. Look, I have no beef with teachers, okay? My French teacher taught me a life lesson, taught me that I could be a revolutionary if I wanted to. That's what she taught me. She taught me I could be a revolutionary. I remember one time I was cheating. I wasn't cheating. I was, doing my best to answer the questions, but it was my buddy who was sitting beside me that was cheating off of me. This French teacher caught me cheating and in front of the class, right to my face, ripped up the piece of paper and gave me a 0. And you guys know I'm a tough guy. So I started crying like a little baby. That's right. I started crying that I got sent outside the classroom. Now, while I was outside the classroom, I was getting lectured by the teacher. But while I was getting lectured, the rest of the class, writing my name on the board, flicking the lights, going crazy. Free nav, free nav, free nav. And that's when I realized I knew I had superpowers, right? I had a real squad with me. Do I know where any of these people are now? No. But I appreciate it. And if you're listening and you were in that French class, I fucking love you. Except if you were the teacher. Then, fuck you. Then there's the subject of science, okay? Science is great. Science actually makes sense as to why you're teaching kids science, It's nature. It's everything around us. It's what's going on inside of our bodies that we need to learn science in order to keep ourselves safe. COVID-19 proved the fact that we need to know science now more than ever, right? Science was great. The only science I ever really related to was physics. Physics was the only real-life math and science I could think of. They were teaching you about momentum and gravity. If you drop this at this height, how long will it take to hit the floor? Shit like that. Shit that probably I still don't use, but at least I know now that all this stuff exists. That if I was to get shot flying out of a car that's going at full speed, the likelihood of that car running over me is 100% because my momentum and the car's momentum is going in the same direction. Physics was the best. Then you get to chemistry and you start drawing these fucking circular doodles that look like buttholes. They call them the drawing of the atom or the elemental compounds, where you put the proton, an electron, and a neutron, and a megatron all together. That shit, waste of time, because as soon as you get to university, all chemistry professors will tell you this. All those drawings that you did in high school were wrong. Okay? I had to learn about the composition of a cell, mitochondria, proteins, where all that shit is. You think I care? You think I even use that shit now? You think a doctor is telling me that my mitochondria is tripping out? No. The thing that made the least sense to me in high school was the fact that we learned biology, but then we learned health and anatomy in gym class. It's like to give the fucking gym teacher a job, like you wanted to give him something, give him some sort of teaching experience and not just sit there staring at kids' buttholes as they change in the change room. They might have changed it now, but when I was in school, we learned sex education in gym class and we learned biology in science class. Doesn't that make no sense? Because the science of reproduction should be taught in science instead of gym. In health class, I distinctly remember spending weeks not even more than weeks, months, labeling and studying the female vagina, and yet I still don't know where the G-spot is. If you give me a picture of that clitoris, I can point it out, but as soon as you show me one in real life, I'm like, what the fuck is that? Rajma? Finally, this last beef that I have with our education system is just the one that draws the line. When you get to grade 12, they tell you to pick your courses. The courses that you pick can either be college or university. And if you're going into the trades, go see a special teacher. That's it. Those are the three options you had. You could be like a plumber, you could work in the trades, carpentry, whatever. You go to university, spend thousands and thousands of dollars to get a piece of paper that doesn't even mean anything anymore. Or go to college, which is like the B version of university, right? Like, those were your three options. And those options didn't support like what I wanted, my creativeness, right? I wanted to be on stage. I wanted to talk to people. Like, shit, I'll even do poetry in front of people. I want to do anything that involves me standing on a stage. Yes, that includes male stripper. But instead, my education system locked me up, wasted money to get a political fucking science degree that I don't even use. I have nothing to do with nothing. I have a university degree. And I remember once I applied to McDonald's for a job and I didn't even get it. You know what that tells you? That a university degree doesn't mean shit anymore. That spending $20,000 over a 4-year span on an education, sure, you might learn some things, the tools of the trade, where certain things happen or how it started. And university is a great experience for people. It's a great social experience. That's the problem. What you're paying for with university is the social experience. Because you make your lifelong friends in university. You go through the shit when you're in university. I've been through heartbreak. I've been through scandals. I've been through stresses. Money and whatever it is. University puts you through all of that so that by the time you get out, you're like a better person or like a more mature adult. But now, that doesn't mean anything. You can be a mature adult straight coming out of high school. You can create your own content, be funny, have millions of people watch it over, and sponsors will come to you and pay you the money you need to survive in your life. It doesn't make sense. School, education, it doesn't help everyone. And that's the problem, especially a public school education that I had. It doesn't help everyone. It's not for everyone. I was fine. I was, popular enough to avoid getting bullied, avoid getting beat up, avoid, I grew up in a brown city, so avoid the racism. I avoided it all. But they didn't teach me anything. They didn't educate me on how to be ready for a future. I feel bad for kids now. I feel super bad, favorite movie, but I feel really bad for kids now because they don't even get to experience the social aspect anymore. Like I remember I had a crush on this girl, and I would show up to school every day because we had the same morning class together. She was a bus student. I used to walk to school. I was in love with this girl. The first girl I ever really had a crush on. I would show up to school every day, even on snow days. All we did was watch movies. But I would go to school in the hopes that I would see this girl. I learned what love was. I learned it in high school. Social. Another thing that I could have also learned in university. The social aspect of school is the main reason for school. That's what I think. How you make friends. How do you fit in society? How you create your persona, your personality. I'm not saying you need to have all of that shit 100% figured out. But high school teaches you how to start the building blocks. How to get to those foundations. To be the person that you're going to be in the adult world. That's going to conclude today's episode of What Are You Saying? Just real quick, if you are someone who hasn't your life figured out, be sure to subscribe. I would really appreciate it. And thanks for listening, guys. See you next week. Oh, Happy Family Day.